What's up guys, my name is Steve Potts and today I'm going to show you guys my little Tommy gun style camera stabilizer rig. Right, that's what I'm calling it right now, Tommy gun style camera stabilizer rig, and the reason for that is because it's very much designed around the idea of being able to provide rifle-like stability to a very light camera stabilizer rig so that you can get around sharp corners and things like that quite easily with this rig, okay? You'll see that the construction of it is actually very flat. I made it this way so that I can actually put this rig inside of a briefcase or inside of a suitcase or a backpack, take it with me. This is quite literally designed to be a run and gun, if you pardon the pun, rig, okay? So let's get through to the construction of how I put this rig together. Basically, the main component of this here is the centerpiece, which is a 1/2 inch non-metallic electrical conduit box. Right through there we have an 1.5 inch winged screw. I just drilled a hole straight through top and bottom, and over here you'll see, I don't know if you can see that, I put a 1/2 inch neoprene washer in there so that the camera has something really nice to snug down on when you tighten it at the bottom here. Now the rest of this is just basically PVC parts. In the back here we have a 1/2 inch T-piece, that's also PVC. We have some PVC pipe. We have two pieces of PVC pipe here that I'm using as handles, a 1/2 inch PVC 90-degree bend, and a small spacer that I put in here just so that when I move my hands together they're not actually touching each other, because otherwise my hands are just too close to each other to be very functional or comfortable, okay? So that's the whole construction here. What you see is in the back here, I've actually put some shoulder pads on here so that it's nice and comfy when I pull it into my shoulder to use it. This basically consists of 1/2 inch pipe insulation. This stuff, if I can reach down here and get it, it's actually incredibly cheap. I think for like 8 feet of this stuff is like maybe $1. If you look inside there, you'll see it's got plastic covering on either side that's covering a glued surface. And how you work with this is you just put on a piece of 1/2 inch PVC pipe, you remove the plastic obviously, and then you squeeze it together, and then that's how it sticks in place. But I realized that what's going to happen with that is, with constant use of this actual rig, that's going to give, and I wanted it to be a little bit smoother. So if I was to swing it, left and right like this on my shirt, that I wasn't going to get that sound that this might actually produce. See that? I didn't want that. So what I did is I took some electrical tape and I actually bound the insulation all the way around it. But it actually made the whole thing look a little bit more slick, a little bit more professional. Okay, now up front here, the length of the PVC pipe, that was just whatever worked for my hand, which was comfortable, so that I had enough space top and bottom of my hand, so those end caps don't butt into my hand right over there. You see I put some electrical insulation tape over there just to make it look a little bit more grippy, and also make it feel a little bit different than just light PVC pipe. I took some shiny tape and I basically put that all the way around it, because the camera that I actually intended this rig for is black and silver, because I'm using a Panasonic HC V250 camera for this rig, and so I wanted this to actually match the camera. That actually brought me to a small problem, and which is going to actually result in me having to repaint this entire rig, because now, depending on what camera I actually have mounted on this thing, it does start to look a whole lot like a gun. And I live in Florida and people are a little bit gun crazy here, stand your ground rules and stuff like that, and I don't want to accidentally get shot when somebody thinks I'm running around with a gun. Also, if you build this rig, if you're running around maybe flying, you want to make this thing look as little like a gun as possible. So my recommendation would be painted orange, pink, green, whatever, man. Just make it look as little like a gun as possible. And my, like I said, shiny tape I stuck all over it, that didn't exactly help either. So yes, I intended it to work like a short rifle, like something that's like a submachine gun, right? And that was my design idea for this. But unfortunately, the foam and now makes it look like an actual gun. So not that it looks like a gun, but people can mistake you running around with something like this, you know, thinking that, you know, from afar that maybe you're actually running around with a gun. Okay, so yeah, orange paint, yellow paint, whatever, make it look not like a gun. Okay, now how do I intend to use this? Well, as you probably have seen me do already in this video, hand front and back and pull into the shoulder, pulling it to me. Elbows are tucked close to me. Right, makes it a very stable system. I can clearly see what's going on here. I can have one hand up front and then one hand over here. The camera I'm actually intending this for has a zoom function at the top of the camera. So this hand is now, you know, free to actually zoom in and out. And I've still got my stability over here and here. And I can also obviously put my hand through that camera strap and then control the zoom from there, right? The other way I want to use this is if I were to use a DSLR camera, is basically hold it on this part, pull it into my shoulder. Again, my elbow is nice and securely tucked up against my body. And I can now have my hand up front here, you know, operating my focus, right? Now, of course, what I could do is I could release my screw over here and then turn the camera this way, and I could also use it as a stabilizer rig this way, sort of like a steering wheel stabilizer rig system, right? That could be completely done. The other thing is I built this so that if I go to an area where there are a lot of people, so that I don't have a huge rig that I'm carrying around with lights and stuff like that, because you don't always really need that. You just need a light rig. Well, what I'm thinking in there is, of course, you know, a lot of people are going to be moving around, like maybe at conventions or, you know, car shows and stuff like that. So another way to use this is to actually throw this part over your shoulder and then just pull it away from you from the front here. And then you can use this hand here to operate your focus, or maybe use a microphone over here to actually, you know, maybe interview people. So you're still pretty stable shot and you can still see with your eye what's going on in the camera over here, because you have enough room over here to actually still see what's going on in the camera. Okay, or what I can do is do the same thing over here, pull away from me and then operate my zoom function over here. Now the camera is very close to me. People can move around with me and I'm not, you know, have my camera out there where I'm going to bump into things or people. So that was it. The entire construction of this lightweight Tommy gun style camera stabilizer rig is probably, I'd say, you're looking at maybe $7 in total if you include the tape and the pad that you're using in the back here to make the shoulder stock a little bit more comfortable, and the insulation tape, and of course also spray paint, right? It's very easy construction, man. All you need to do is just, this length here is what's going to be comfortable for you, you know, depending on your body size. Okay, so you put a piece in there and then basically you want to measure where it's going to be comfortable for you to actually have this, and that's how you determine the length of this actual stock right here. The handles here, all you really need to do is, you know, put your hand up and you need to make sure that your hand can comfortably fit in that space right there. And this little spacer over here, make sure that you have enough room between your front and back hand when you actually use this rig, so that your hands aren't bunched up against each other, because then you don't really get enough of a spread where you have a decent stabilizing system. Okay, so I can of course make detailed plans. Well, I don't really think it's necessary. I think if you're out there looking to build your own camera stabilizer system, then you're probably handy enough to be able to build this. This is really easy, guys, and I would highly recommend you build yourselves one like this if you intend to literally, like I said, run and gun. But again, remember, paint it something that doesn't look like a gun, man. Go for yellows and oranges or greens or whatever, not camo green, but green, okay? And go out there and build something, go shoot, man. Get out there, take a camera and go, okay? Okay, guys, later. Steve out.